from your sleep, come stand with me. This is our time, we're changing the world. We won't back down this time around.
Hi guys, it's me, Alex, and welcome back to our live show. And today we're going to be talking about factoring, fueling, and all the highlights from RTS. And I can tell you this, guys, I miss you so much. It was very nice to be away on vacation. But as many of you know, that my students are the one who keep me going. And you guys know that I am agent for the RTS. So we're going to have the guest exactly from the RTS headquarters. We're going to pick on all the news. We're going to ask some questions and we're going to make sure that they are honest with us. So I'm going to bring my guests and we're going to talk about new promotions. We're going to talk about fueling. We're going to talk about ProTrans, as many of you know, that we always try to give you the best. That's why me personally, I choose RTS and I became the agent for them because I've been a carrier. I am a dispatcher. I also teach safety and compliance, and I want to make sure that you guys have the best. So let's welcome our guest. Make sure you like, comment, ask questions. This is a time to maybe get those answers when we have all these guys in our studio. So let's welcome all of them and let them introduce themselves, and we will continue with the show. So hi guys, how are you?
Hey,
Good, thank you.
Hi,
Thanks for having
we're
us.
good. Thank you. Yes.
Wow, you guys can see the headquarters. There's Kansas. Look at this. I guess they're doing a good business. We're gonna start with Patricia. So we're gonna see how long she's been with RTS and what is she representing. What department is she working for? So let's start with Patricia.
Hey, Alex. Hey, guys. Good to see you all, and happy to be here. I have been with RTS for over 16 years. I actually started as an account rep, processing invoices, working in the trenches, and getting carriers the funds needed to run their businesses. For the last 7 years, I have been the business development manager for the factoring division. So I have been selling factoring, getting you the cash flow to grow your business and keep your trucks on the road.
Okay, wow, 16 years. It's a long time. I guess RTS is treating you well. We'll get back to that and see how we can improve this. Well, let's go to Aga. I'm going to unmute her because she was echoing a little bit there. So,
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me here. I've been with the RTS for about 3 years now, a little over 3 years. I also started as in a factoring operations, and I moved to fuel. Yeah, I do the discounts. Anything you guys need to save on the fuel, that would be me.
we're going to talk about it in a second. And let's go to our only gentleman today, Chase.
Hey, everybody, how are you?
Representing here.
Yeah, I've been with RTS for about 3 years now. I'm a software consultant. I'm a senior team lead. Been handling customers all over. I mean, our program, we've added new benefits, new programs. We've upgraded our software a lot. So I'm just happy to discuss that.
Okay, sounds good. And we're going to start again with Patricia. So, since I've been away for a little bit, I was kind of missing all these new highlights of RTS Factoring. So let's talk about those deals, new deals, and those competitive rates. So tell me, what is this going on right now? When I heard that we have 0% factoring for 90 days.
Yes, you've heard right. We have awesome deals right now. So for our companies 1 to 4 trucks, whether you're new just starting or you're already running on the road or you're factoring with anybody, if you're 1 to 4 trucks, we can give you 0%. So absolutely no fees for 90 days. And after that, we also have really competitive rates, and we are ready to beat the competition with service and with the rates.
Well, another deal, which I just heard from you, this is another great idea. So what is this about?
This one is brand new. We just got it started. It's going on this month only, and it is 1% for 6 months on 5+ trucks. Yes, for 1% only. We can give it to you. It's a no additional fees, no additional cost. You only pay 1% for 6 months.
Okay, so let's go back to this process, because most of the people who watching us, they are brand new dispatchers, they are new attorneys, people who maybe got into business in the last few months, maybe last year. Let me ask you this. Is it smart to start applying for factoring even when you're still in the process of activating your MC, or should they wait until it's active and they trying to book the first load, although it's impossible because they need notice of assignment? What is the process nowadays?
Well, I would say right now with the promotions that we have going on, and we don't know how much longer they're going to be around, I would say call me right now and get those rates locked in. Because even if you're still in the process, we can get your rates locked in, put you in the system, get the application in, and have everything ready when you start running.
So if I'm getting you correct, let's say I applied for my MC a month ago. I'm still in process of getting insurance, but if I call you right now, let's say I call you and I mentioned Dispatch Training Center, you can lock in that promotion even if I am not booking load for the next, let's say, 60 days. Is that correct?
Absolutely. As long as we get you started with the process, we get the application going right now, I can lock in the promotion.
Okay. Also, I want to clarify this, because if we look back last year or 2 years ago, you guys did not really want to deal with box trucks, specialty equipment. Is that changing nowadays? How easy it is to even get approved with RTS if you only small company with one box truck? Is that a possibility?
It is a possibility. A little disappointing might be that the promotion does not apply for box trucks, but we can still set up a box truck and we can still get you a competitive rate.
Okay, so let's talk about those competitive rates. What are you starting nowadays if we are talking only factoring, when we're not talking about bundling with the fuel? So why are you competitive? Why do you think that you can beat OTR, Compass, I don't know, England factoring, whatever is out there?
Well, there are a couple of things that actually make us stand out in a business. First of all, we have been doing it for 30 years, which we probably are the most experienced out there in the industry. Our rates are no higher than 2.75%. We actually have outstanding service, customer service. Our reps are highly trained. They are experienced. They know what they're doing. We have great collections department. Our RTS Pro app, you have your credit checks. You can check brokers, make sure that you are booking loads with reputable companies. You can upload your invoices. You have access to all the reports. You can see the status of your purchase right there on your phone or on your tablet or computer.
Okay, so a lot of times I hear from my students or from my clients, they say, well, Alex, why my friend has, let's say, 2%, and you telling me that you're going to start me with 275? Is this a misleading information, or it goes back to how many trucks company has?
We are a volume-based company. So obviously the more volume you do, the more invoices you send us, the lower your rate is going to be. And we actually make it easy for you. We actually build in those rates into your contract up front. So we're going to start you at one rate, but we are going to show you that if your monthly volume grows to X amount of dollars a month, your rate will automatically drop to a certain amount without you having to call and say, hey, look, I've added trucks, I've added equipment, I have a new lane that's paying me a lot. What can you do for me on the rate? You're going to know that.
Are you sure that you're going to do it automatically, or should I contact all my clients and double check on you, Patricia?
Please do.
Okay. I want to make sure that it's going to be automatically, because this is another thing. Because we hear so many good wise, but we also see a lot of bad information and comments. So that's why I want to make sure that you, as part of RTS, are really confident. And I like that answer. Another thing, let me ask you this. You now promoting this great deal, right? And most likely it's going to be a companies who already have factoring with somebody else. How easy is a process of buyout? So let's say somebody's going to jump for this and he's like, okay, let's say I'm with Compass now. I have 10 trucks. Actually, I did reach out to my client. He's like, well, but they treat me so nice. And I have a friend who works there. But let's talk about this. So how easy is that process?
Well, we have a buyout team that all they do is buyouts. They do 70, 80 buyouts a month. They are really experienced and really good at it. You really don't have to do anything. All you have to do is reply to the email when we reach out to your factoring company for the information. We handle it from there. We handle verifying the invoices. We handle the communication with your factoring company, whether it's OTR, Compass, Apex, England, whoever that may be, on making sure that if any funds are forwarded to them past buyout, they are going to be forwarded to RTS. You don't have to notify your customers that you're changing your factoring company. That is something that we automatically do while we verify your buyout invoices. We send them new notice of assignment and a release letter. And then every time we have a new customer that you bring on the books, we verify and make sure that NOA is in place and the payments are going to remit to RTS.
Is there possibilities of early termination? Because if you guys see that you meeting the criteria and there's volume, do people have to wait until their contract expires, let's say with OTR, or there can be some negotiations done between you and whatever factoring and it can be terminated earlier?
That really depends on a factoring company. What I can tell you is there are some factoring companies that will not give an early termination fee, that will not allow any negotiations. There are factoring companies that do, and we are more than willing to look at the early termination fees. We're more than willing to negotiate those amounts with the factoring company and also negotiate those amounts and maybe help you cover some of those costs.
Okay.
On an individual basis.
So let's go back to the contract. So where is the RTS stance right now? Do we have no contract? Do we have 1 year contract? What is our termination kind of headlights if you have RTS nowadays?
Our standard contract is 12 months. Sometimes with special promotions, we would ask for 18 or 24 months in return for giving you a better deal or helping you out with early termination fee or whatever it may be. So there might be a little negotiation or give and take involved in the whole process. As far as our termination fee, as far as leaving RTS, we do have a window of terminating 60 to 90 days prior to the renewal of your contract. As far as early termination fee, that really depends on the situation and why you want to leave RTS. Our stance on this is that we want to do everything and anything we can to keep you as RTS customer. If there are issues that we can resolve, we're going to do everything in our power to resolve it. If we can't, we're probably not going to hold you hostage.
Okay, let's talk about your customer service. As many of we know, in America, it's like a melting pot. We have different nationalities. How is your customer support on being able to help people in their native languages? How many languages do you support nowadays?
This is a really good question, Alex. I'm so glad that you asked it. We actually have probably over 13 languages. We cover all the main transportation languages. So Polish, Russian, Ukrainian, Serbian, Croatian, Bosnian, Bulgarian, Romanian, Punjabi, obviously Spanish. Hopefully I didn't forget any. I mean, obviously all our customer service representatives do speak English, and we're always there to help you.
Just to prove this, I just went to your RTS Pro and I even see here in Ukrainian, and I can read in Ukrainian. So you can actually, you don't have all the languages display here, but English, Espanol, Punjabi, Russian, Ukrainian. And actually, I never pay attention that I was able to read in Ukrainian. So it's kind of nice. Also, we're going to talk about this when Chase is going to share this to us. But one more thing, is it smart to apply for the bundle services? When we combine fuel and factoring, will it give us better rates from the beginning, or it does not really affect the rates?
It does give us a better deal on both fuel and factoring. I know that Aga will touch on the fuel side and our partners and who we work with as far as the fuel side. But on factoring, yes, we actually when we create your contract, we show you what your rate is when you bundle and what that would be if the fuel and factoring bundle was not in place, and those rates are considerably higher without fuel.
Okay. So can you give me 3 points? Why should I choose RTS for factoring? You've been there for 16 years. You know all the in and outs. You know positive and negative sides of RTS. But I am a brand new small carrier. In this tough market, why should I choose RTS? 3 points just for factoring.
Experience, service, knowledge.
And of course your personality. Look at Patricia.
That goes without saying.
She always answers the phone. She always gonna, even if it's Saturday or Sunday. So that's why it's nice to have a representative. And again, going back to that kind of support in your native language, it helps a lot, because a lot of times you feel more relaxed, confident, and a lot of times we do have, for people who were not born here like me, English is a second language. Sometimes it can be tough. You know, we have some days when we don't want to speak English and we still have to deal with that invoice. Before I'm going to let you go, let me ask you this. Paperwork. How hard it is to deal with all the BOLs, tonus, bad scans. Are you guys kind of easy up the process? Because I mean, I know that when I submit with RTS, I have no problem. But do you have a lot of problems with newer brokerages when they, let's say, don't accept BOLs, or they start making up some, I don't know, some store that why they're not going to pay for this load? Is something like this going on right now?
I mean, one thing that we always are on the lookout for is fraud, and we are looking for red flags with the paperwork. Our reps are actually trained to spot different things on the paperwork that could potentially mean that invoices were fraudulent, whether the email address looks funky on the rate confirmation, or the font is different in certain places. We are actually what we believe in is let's make it right on the front end. So then we're not chasing this paperwork 30, 60 days later because the broker doesn't want to pay. We also our RTS Pro app that you can use to upload and take pictures of the paperwork has kind of capability similar to cam scanners. So it helps with the quality of the paperwork that's being submitted. Another thing with that is, especially for the newer and smaller carriers, I have a lot of small carriers that are able to submit the paperwork when they're still at the delivery, waiting for everything to be finished up. They can just snap a quick picture of the bill of lading and submit the paperwork, and money is in their bank account at no additional cost the next day.
Let's go back to this. Since I was away, you guys added this little sign. It was not here before because I teach classes all the time. So I remember it was not there a few weeks ago, not since August 20th when I left. So what does this mean? And this is in really black. No recent RTS payment activity with the past 6 months. So let me ask you this. Does this mean that this broker did not have any invoice with you and you kind of saying, pay attention, guys, probably not a good idea to book this load? Is that correct?
This is just a caution sign. So we're not telling you not to book the load with this customer. This just means the customer has not paid us in the last 6 months. But when there was activity, they were paying good. So it is caution. We're not probably going to deny that invoice, but we're just trying to bring your attention to the fact that the information that is available on RTS Pro is a little outdated because there was no new data available within the last 6 months.
Well, let me ask you this. Well, I always get confused because usually I try to be A, B, C. I don't ever go to D. And in this market, gonna take a while, so that load's gonna be got anyway until I get approval. I don't know how fast it's gonna. But what is difference between F and I? Me personally, I always get confused as a dispatcher. So, well, average payment. So if I still book load with a broker who has F rating, are you still gonna give us money or not?
That depends on the size of the carrier and also whether or not we do have additional collateral on the account to cover potential losses. So if we're talking about a small, just a starting up company, I would strongly urge you to stick between ABC rated brokers.
Okay, and that means that you guys don't even want to hear about this company.
That is, yes. So that means we have some information that tells us you probably should stay away.
Okay. So double brokering nowadays, how does it affect RTS?
We are again trying to look for signs of double brokering. Obviously, double brokering has always been part of the business and probably will be. Unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know which way we want to look at it, but we're looking for signs of it. We are trying to prevent buying invoices that were double brokered as protection for our customers, to make sure that the customers that actually hold the loads are going to pay for the work that they've done.
Do you have a fraud prevention department? For example, if carriers suspect something's going on, can they actually kind of report back to you, or you guys don't really deal with that?
We do have a department that actually handles that. We, if we have, reasons to suspect, we would say, please report it to your account rep, report it to me, and I am going to pass it on to our credit department and to our payment department for further investigation.
Okay, so let's see other questions. Everybody just saying hello. One more. Everybody was in shock. We're going to let Patricia rest a little bit, but everybody was in shock when a big company goes out, right? And we're referring to the yellow going out. So what happened with those carriers who had the loads with you guys and with a company which files bankruptcy? How is it gets handled? And this is the biggest question between recourse, non-recourse, and what's going to happen. Tell us the reality.
Well, the reality,
carrier who had 10 loads, and I am your carrier, RTS. You gave me money. Now company is bankrupt, so they're going out of the business. So what RTS gonna do? You just gonna take all the money back, or you gonna try to collect? I mean, what is the reality? And let's be just honest with this.
We're going to do everything we can to collect. Our credit department, we have a large credit department that all they do is actually look at the data that we collect in our credit department. Our credit service is only comprised of experiences that our carriers have with brokers. We look at the trends. We look at brokers that their payments are slowing. We have a financial resolution team, our collections department, that works with brokers by sending them weekly statements, on checking on invoices and trying to detect those things before they happen. Now, is it 100% foolproof? Unfortunately not, but we're going to do everything that we can to help you. We are going to, and also you can actually link to it from our credit website to information on broker's bond that you can file as quickly as possible, and hopefully collect maybe at least part of the invoice that you have delivered when the broker is facing financial difficulties.
What if I was the carrier who had that non-recourse agreement?
Well, then in situation of surge in yellow, you're in luck, because non-recourse program does protect you if a broker files bankruptcy.
What is the difference in rates approximately? Because, and if you can just in 2 minutes explain, because we do have new people in industry and they don't understand the difference between recourse and non-recourse, just really fast, not in.
So recourse, which is the standard, which we usually sell, is we purchase the invoice, we collect on the invoice, and we keep an invoice on the books until it's 90 days. If we do not have a resolution or payment within 90 days, that is going to be charged back to the carrier. Now, with that being said, it is never a surprise to you that you find out in 90 days that we're going to recourse or charge back that invoice. We're going to notify you well in advance. We're going to tell you we're having a hard time collecting on that invoice. We might advise you to file on a bond even before the 90 days. We might advise you to contact the shipper and let them know that the broker is not paying. We're going to try to work as many options as possible. Now, for additional, usually about 0.25%, we can offer this bankruptcy protection. So non-recourse program, then in case a broker files bankruptcy and the broker is A, B, or C rated, we are going to protect that invoice and we're not going to charge you back.
But let's tell everybody that non-recourse, it always means higher rate from the beginning. That's
absolutely. You are paying higher premium for that protection. Now, we did have yellow and surge recently, but in my 16 years, there have not been a lot of brokers that actually filed bankruptcy.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully we all can survive, carriers, factoring and shippers, receivers, this economy and this inflation. But thank you so much for answering all this. Let's give you a little break. And I see that Aga is busy with the homework and everything, but we're going to give you a chance to
yes.
our fuel. What and why should people choose RTS?
I'm so sorry, guys. See, that's how you know we are real. We are real people. We are mothers. We are fathers. We have children, and we are here for you and dealing with what we can. So if it comes to RTS and our fuel program, we have a partnership with the largest network in country. We partner with Pilot, Flying J, 9-1 network as our larger stations, but we also have a full network of RTS, what we call RTS Plus, which are those smaller independent stations, like what we call moms and pops. Altogether, we have over 2,600 stations right now. We keep adding new ones, so it's hard to keep up even with that number, but we are the biggest network in a country. We offer, except from fuel discounts, like our card, we offer IFTA services, track maintenance services, and we have the lowest, not the lowest, I shouldn't say. We have, I'm so sorry. I think I just got a little bit stressed out with my kids being here. But what I'm trying to say that we have the best people, the best stations, and we beat most of our competitors with the prices. However, if we cannot, we offer customized program, customized pricing. So you can provide us, the carrier can provide us their transaction reports, and we analyze them and send them to Pilot, and they come back to us with the customized offer where they beat those prices for the carriers.
But when we talk about customized program, probably we talk about a little bit of volume, right? We're not going to customize program for one box truck or two semis, right?
Actually, we will. We will, because that's yeah, the pilot is wanting to win everybody's business. And yes, if we have a larger corporations, then we can even further customize those programs. But if it comes to the competitors, if the carrier uses a specific competitor and provides us the transaction report, we can beat those prices for them and get them some more savings.
And I'm showing for people who are not actually maybe aware that it's easier because most of our students are dispatchers, the safety managers. So you can see, you can compare, you can put and see what's going on. So you can click, for example, if your truck gonna go fuel here, this is what is RTS price, this is the discount, right? So you can kind of find what's going on the way. And when you were talking about those smaller shops, that's what you're referring to, something like, I don't know, no, SAP is kind of big, like smaller, even one probably, I don't even know. What does the name? 7-Eleven, this one maybe 7-Eleven, right? So this is a smaller.
Yeah, there's just so many of them that it's really hard to keep up. But that's that what you're doing. This is wonderful. Thank you for showing this, because this is what I recommend to all my carriers. Like, please, it takes 30 seconds before you go. Plug your line, where you going from, where you going to, and it will pull up like all the stations on your line in a network. You're gonna see the prices. You're gonna see the discounts. In this way, you will be able to always maximize your savings, because you can choose where you're going to fuel along the way to get those higher, the lowest prices or higher discounts.
Don't forget, Aga, we're teaching pro dispatchers here, not just the dispatchers. We give a good education. So this is something our dispatchers do when they plan. This is our new carriers.
Excellent.
They learn all this because they need to know operational cost. And fuel is actually the biggest cost in truck.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so Aga, let me ask you this. What is the process? And we did display you, and I will display one more time. Of course, they will mention us. They have a link or whatever. You usually ask them where they referral come from. But let's say people not sure what they have right now. Is there an easy way? Because when I was talking to Patricia last week when we met for lunch in Chicago, she said that it's so simple as just sending you the card, a screenshot of the card, and you kind of find what you can do. But is that as easy as that? I like that process. I don't want to be writing million emails and pull out my charges for the last month. So is that true? This Patricia was making it up, or this is really nowadays?
No, she was not making it out. It's just there are specific two programs that we use right now that pilot allowed us to take the picture of the card, and one of them is TCS competitor, and the Nasdaq is the other one. There are a few smaller ones in between, but those are the specific programs that they are so familiar with, that they know what the carriers are getting, and then all they need is to see the picture of the card, and we can submit that with the request. However, because we are the best and we do always care for our carriers, we do, if the carrier finds a specific locations, because there's just so many of them that beats the price that they got, we can still submit additional request to pilot for that specific location. We just need few receipts to show what exactly they got at those locations, and we can submit them to pilot and ask them to beat those specific locations on top of those what we call buckets, bucket pricing that they will get for the different competitors. So in those two cases, yes. With other competitors, we still do ask for transactions, because they vary. They discounts vary. The transactions vary. So we do want to make sure that what we give our carriers is the best. So we do want to do a proper analysis.
Okay.
And
So
my
we
daughter
know
is.
that. No, that's fine. I mean, we already after hours, 6:30. As you said, we all real people. We're not pretending here. We're not pre-recording. So we actually working extra today. So let me ask you this. Is the best way for you to reach out to you by phone or by the link? What is the best way to get results from you? Because, carriers sometimes they don't have patience. If they want to get an answer by the end of the day, they want it by the end of the day.
Yes.
Especially if they're Eastern Europeans from
Oh,
Chicagoland.
my
They
favorite.
spend
Yeah.
an hour away.
Yes.
And the
No,
answer we'll get.
yes. So thank you so much for asking this question, because yes, this is my phone number. You can call me, but also this phone number takes text messages, so they can text me if you cannot. They cannot reach me on the phone, because we can't pretend we are salespeople. We are on the phone all the time. But if you send me the text, I'll be happy to return your phone call as soon as I'm get off of my phone. So yeah, this would be it. The email address would be the other option if it's over the weekend or like a holiday weekend, which is A Weaver, that the first letter of a name, A Weaver at rtscarrierservices.com, like the company.
Okay, sounds good. We're gonna share that. Also, let's talk about credit line, because I remember last
Yes.
year the credit
Mhm.
line was starting from 2,500, 2,000, but of course with increase of
Mhm.
diesel. Nowadays I see that you start 3,200, which is a pretty good amount. I mean, it should be
Mhm.
enough unless you faking logbook and running the team load strong solo Sergey, right? But then you need two fuel cards, probably because you fake in logbook, right? So you don't need just RTS. You need to go back to another one. I'm telling you, we are real here. We tell the reality. So let me ask you this: are there
Yes.
any hidden fees? Every monthly charge for the card. What if I lost the card? Any extra transaction? How easy
Yes.
it is to get a report? Because I also do safety and compliance. How easy for
Mhm.
me to get a report for my IFTA filing? How easy for
Mhm.
me, if I do still fake those ELDs, to go and adjust those reports? Let's be realistic. So, how good are you guys on the paperwork trace and those
Yes.
fees?
Yes, excellent. So the bank right now, and this is changing very much. The market is what it is. So the bank creates a lot of different protections, I guess, for themselves. So now they are giving up to 3,000 line of credit per week, per truck. The reporting is super easy. Once the carrier get approved for the card, they're gonna set up. They are set up with the what's called e-manager. It's what, and I call it banking side of the card. This is something that you just log in with your email and you can pull all your transactions. You have all visibility to all your cards. You can change whatever you need to change. You can put the limits if you need to put on your card. You can activate, you can deactivate the cards, change pins, like everything. The same the transactions. You are able to put your pull your transaction reports within seconds from the portal. Rejection reports, that's another popular one. If something happens and your driver is on the station and the card is not working, you can actually log in to your e-manager and check the rejection report. It might not be there right away, but it will be there soon enough, so you can see what happened. If they just put the incorrect pin number, which it happens, they might not realize that, or if there's some fraudulent fraud happening at the station, so they log the card to make sure that you guys are safe and protected. It just gives you seconds, and you can get all the information you need from that e-manager portal.
Okay. And of course, as being also an owner of a trucking company, I want to make sure you guys understand that a lot of selling of the fuel going on, that you need to set up your daily allowances for drivers. You
Mhm.
cannot just have these limits open, because again, we do have
Yes,
scams on all different levels. And probably when you're gonna get set up with Aga, she can give you those highlights and kind of advise you, because a lot of people, when they come
absolutely.
brand new into this business, they do believe that everybody's honest and trustworthy, and then you learn that the other way. So that's why
Mhm.
some things needs to be prevented, as any fraud in any industry. Well, very thankful that you could have joined us.
Thank
And
you so much for having me.
yeah, and let's go to our gentleman. Before we go, let's just say hi to our viewers. Okay, welcome back. I am in your class. Yes, Daniel. Make sure you're ready. We're starting on Saturday. Hi, Alex. How are you? Another student starting on Saturday. Happy you back. How's Ukraine? Slava Ukraini. Make sure that you getting ready. We're gonna build the biggest dispatch service in Ukraine. Looking forward. This is a great information. While the review always is there, yes. Let's see any questions, guys, because we're gonna talk about TMS. If you have any specific questions for Patricia or Aga, please make sure you ask. And a big fan, thank you guys. Thank you so much. So again, we know that it's available for the small carriers as well. So let's go to our TMS. So let's start and educate people. What the hell TMS means? What is this? Is it a fancy word? What is a TMS?
Yeah, so a TMS is as hard as trucking management software. You know, we want to make sure that you're able to put all of your business into one place, especially for factoring and fuel, safety, maintenance, reporting, just making sure you're keeping track of your whole business in one spot. So yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is what's nice about ProTransport is that we created a brand new product. It has been a very long time since you've heard that from ProTransport.
Yeah, that when I came to industry, and then at some point you guys stop adding stuff and everybody else jump in front of you, right? We have a UTAC, we have other TMSs. Any software engineer decided that they want a part of the big pie of trucking, and they decided that they're gonna make the TMS. So tell me, did you actually catch up? And I should choose you, or are you still working on some things? Maybe it's time for you to share the screen so people can see why you think that ProTrans step up, because I can tell you this. At some point, there was a big disappointment, and I would not recommend you guys because I recommend the best. And that part was not the best. So tell me, why should I start recommending you again?
Yeah. So what separates us now is that we're going web-based. So we still have ProTransport Enterprise, which is something that has been around. Obviously, in Chicagoland, it's still there, and we have a bunch of carriers that are still purchasing it. But what separated us was hurting is we didn't really have a TMS that was for smaller carriers. So that's what we're trying to attack right now. So we created something inside of RTS Pro. It's called ProTransport Premium. The benefits of this is you're going to be able to keep track of all of your loads. You're going to be able to keep track of statements and generate statements for your drivers. You will be able to integrate your WEX fuel card, depending on the fuel card you get with RTS. Send all your invoices directly to RTS simply, as well as invoice or email those invoices out. So if you have dedicated lanes that aren't factored, anything like that, you are able to send those invoices directly to those carriers from the system as well. It is unlimited trucks, unlimited drivers, and because of this version is smaller, we're making it unlimited users.
Oh, so it's unlimited users. Okay.
Yep.
So what is the pricing for this?
Oh, well, we were going to go expensive like always. So what we did was we're like,
yeah, it used to be 10,000, and it's like,
thinking,
yeah,
you know, we were thinking maybe like, you know, $200 unlimited users, but then we're like, you know what? We deal with a lot of people in Chicago. They'll beat us up if we said that. So we dropped it to $100 unlimited users, as many as you want, and that is it. There is no additional fees to integrate fuel, nothing like that. The only thing that might you run into additional fees would be IFTA. So that would be it. But integration, statements, unlimited trucks, unlimited drivers, equipment, you will be able to have profiles. So when it comes to safety aspects, it's not going to have as much as it would with the enterprise version. So I just like to be, you know, especially when we show these to our customers, I just want to be upfront. Accounting is just mainly for statements, aging, keeping track of everything.
Okay, so this does not include that safety and compliance aspect.
No, so for the safety aspect, you're not going to be able to get like your warnings in this version. You're not going to be able to do like odometers.
Can you show me, if you are able, let's say, can I have the list of my drivers, of my equipment, of
Correct.
anything?
Yep. So are you able to see me moving around on my screen?
Yes. Yeah, let's
okay.
see the screen.
So perfect. So you'll be able to see that I have all of my company drivers in here. Betty White, are they active, inactive? If you click on these, you can see that they have a beautiful photo. You can also click into it and see that you'll be able to keep track of their CDL address, any emergency contacts, and you can go ahead and upload files and documentation for that driver. Same with trucks and equipment as well. You will be able to distinguish if they're owner operators, if they're company drivers. So you will be able to see that. If for some reason you guys outgrow this, you can easily go to the upgrade plan option in here and you can request an upgrade for the enterprise. When you go to enterprise, that's when you'll have ELD integrations, QuickBooks integrations. Obviously, we'll have RTS credit built in, but we also have a driver mobile app with ProTransport Enterprise, so you can dispatch loads directly to the drivers and they can scan the documentation for you.
So how much is that nowadays?
Enterprise is actually, I have agent pricing. So for all of the special customers that know Patricia, Aga, or you, I have, instead of it being $500, $600, $700 for this setup, which we do train, we're just going to do $300. That $300 will also give you an additional month for free.
Okay, so $300 per setup. So guys, right here, just because you know Patricia, Mio, Aga, look at this. You're saving $400 right there. That's 3 sets of the nails, girls. Come on. Okay, so after that, what is that monthly?
Monthly, we used to be around, we've kind of been all over the place, but we did increase it a couple years ago to like 175. But once again, with agent pricing, as long as you tell me that this is who you know, we drop it down to 125. Now that will be a per user base.
And that would be per user, but that would include all the accounting, safety, integration. So let's go back to integration. So ELD integration is there, right?
Yep.
QuickBooks integration is there. Then
Correct.
you have app for drivers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So dispatch can dispatch. IFTA will be already included there, right? In that upgrade? No, not IFTA. Okay.
Yep.
What else? What about FMCSA?
So for FMCSA, you talking about direct integration with FMCSA? Let me make sure I understand that.
Yeah, upgrade to safer. I'm talking about the safer.
So when it comes to direct integrations with safer or anything regarding FMCSA, not yet. So we do not have that yet, but you will have in-depth truck profiles. You'll be able to actually tie the fuel card directly with that driver, so you can deduct those fuel transactions from that driver's pay as well. You're going to have more in-depth schedule deductions, integrations, and like I said, PC Miler, QuickBooks, ELDs, tolls. Anybody who is in Chicago, iPass is included. So you would not have to worry about that.
Let's go back to the PC Miler, because PC Miler is like $89 itself. So that PC Miler already gonna be there.
What's beneficial, especially by fleet, we do the old PC Miler pricing. So it's actually just by truck, and it's $6 per truck. To be able to actually have PC Miler, you will not need to have PC Miler and ProTransport, so you won't have to pay for both. You just pay for it inside of ProTransport. So it's just $6 direct. That's it. And you'll be able to do open borders, hazmats, and tolls.
Okay. The biggest problems when people have, when they try to go and shop for TMS, let's say they've been using other TMS, and people get paranoid that how I'm going to be able to transfer everything what I have for the last 2-3 years. And that's what mostly stops people from going to the better products, because they're like, I'm not going to start inputting all this all over. So is there a way to transfer at least most of the information without persons trying all over? Because I know myself, this was kind of the biggest nightmare when somebody was telling me, why don't you come to us and try our TMS? Like, no, I'm not doing this all over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The biggest thing I always tell carriers when you're looking for a TMS is make sure you're able to export data out. Because if you're not able to export that out, what they're doing is they're holding your data hostage, and they'll make you pay an arm and leg for that. What I always recommend carriers that are coming to us, what we'll do for you is we're going to import your trucks, drivers, equipment, and customers in our system for free. Doesn't cost you a dime. We do have an ability to do kind of custom dev work. So if you have tons of loads that you want to bring out, I always recommend, that is an option. But like I said, I always recommend getting a system you're able to export all of your information out of it. With Enterprise, you can export everything you've ever put into it from day one, 10 years from now, into an Excel spreadsheet, into a PDF. So you'll be able to keep track of all of your business the past 10 years without losing that important information.
Okay. Well, you know what? I just got a great idea, because in the last probably 2-3 years that I am teaching, we probably have, I don't know, 5,000 dispatcher who went from our training, safety and compliance. You know what we should do? We should do the Zoom training and invite everybody, and you can share the ProTrans software in details, and hopefully we can convince some people to switch, or maybe they are looking for TMS, because of course today we cannot show all the pluses and minuses, and you know how easy it is. So if you are up to it and RTS up to it, we can probably do this as well. Maybe we can do the same with the fueling, when people can actually on Zoom ask direct questions, right? Same probably with the factory, not like going live and talk, but we can. So if you guys up to it, because we do have a lot of people who come back to us for all the advices. Like I said, we just finished class with 25 students. We're starting another one with 30. We're starting safety and compliance. So we have a lot of people who want to get the best product. But Chase, let me ask you this. So you came to RTS. Did you sell any TMS before, or this is something new?
This was brand new to me. Crazy thing is I've kind of sold everything. I've done smart home securities. I've done appliances. I actually was in the appliance industry for a very, very long time. So I came to the trucking industry, and I just don't see myself looking back. It's like a crazy fun. It's exciting.
So let me ask you,
doesn't it?
Yeah, I can't leave.
So let me ask you this. So you represent TMS, trucking management software.
Mm-hmm.
All of us know that market is kind of tough now.
Yes.
This is a survival mode. Can you actually give me 3 points how TMS can help optimize operational cost, help some people to maybe see where they're losing money, where they need to improve? Can you tell me, just as being a salesperson, those three little points is really TMS can be an answer for some people to survive in this market?
Yeah. Time, keeping your company lean, and benefits. So when I look at that, is keeping your company lean is, as you grow a business, you want to put a product in place that you don't have to maybe overstaff for. So during these times when the market's tough, we have a program that will help you grow efficiently, keeping track of your profits, keeping track of your benefits, and also time. I say time is a big thing, because when you're drenched and drowning in Excel spreadsheets and something could potentially go wrong, just have a system, even if it's not ProTransport or not, just have a system in place that would save you a ton of time, because your job is to go look for loads. Your job is to go find trucks, build your business, as opposed to being, drowning in your spreadsheets and all that paperwork.
So right here is a question. I am a new carrier. I used to be a truck driver. I still driving. I am not a software engineer. I just know how to use social media. Will I be able to use that ProTransport? Will they actually show me how to do it, or is it too hard? Because that's a question you get from smaller carriers, for people who've been on the road, because they're afraid. I cannot manage the TMS because I am not a software engineer. So do you have to be a software engineer to use a ProTransport software?
No, you do not. But, I like to say that with a grain of salt. So if you're driving, perfect. What's nice about this brand new product, it's inside of RTS Pro. So you already have it downloaded. You don't have to do anything else. You go through the factoring side, you go through the fuel, and then you come to me and I put it all together. So what's beneficial is I'm available nonstop. You can text me, call me, but we also have in-depth training videos for the small version. The small version takes no time at all. And yeah, It's extremely simple, and I like to keep it that way. Enterprise, as you grow your fleet, we will have an implementation rep and our support team attending your all needs, emails, texts, phone calls through that implementation process to make sure that we get your business up and running.
So does ProTransport support works the same as factoring? Because usually in factoring, you have your team, whatever, team 59, 56, you have few people. So if you have a problem, usually you deal with the same people. Is ProTransport does the same? So you kind of dealing with maybe 2-3 people who can answer, or how's your support goes with that software?
So our support team is based out of Bosnia. It's ran by Victor, who is a relative of the person who created ProTransport in the first place. So he has a full in-depth staff dedicated for our enterprise customers. You will have your implementation rep that you started off with to be able to reach out to. You will have myself, and you will have an account manager. So if you're not able to get help with support, or if you need any upgrades, downgrades, anything like that, you can reach out to your implementation rep, myself, support team, and your account manager. We all are working around the clock nonstop.
So here's a question from our future dispatcher. Is this only for carriers, or how this will help dispatcher?
Yeah. I have a dispatcher who dispatches for about 15 other fleets that uses ProTransport. The benefit of that is you can set them up as divisions inside of our software. For a big dispatcher, and as you're growing, I would definitely recommend Enterprise, so you can make sure you distinguish all of that and you're dispatching the right loads to the right carriers. ProTransport would also work with brokerages as well.
Okay, so the ProTransport gives you option now to have it for you as independent dispatcher. So we're just gonna clarify. Let's say me, Alex, I'm independent dispatcher. So I want to dispatch 5 smaller carriers. And they don't want to, because maybe one carrier has 1 truck, another have 2 trucks, another have 3, and they don't really want to have the TMS. So me as a dispatcher, I can come to you and say, Chase, listen, I want to make sure the paperwork is in one kind of software. So you will set up for me 5 different profiles, as kind of, right? We speak.
Yep,
and
right.
Okay, so how much does that cost to get set up?
Well, I mean, if you were to just say, hey, I'm a carrier and I have a additional business, the pricing's different. But when you're a dispatcher and you're coming to me with, let's say, hey, Chase, I got 3 carriers, I'm going to make it very inexpensive because I want to earn your business. So I would say it's anywhere between $15 to $20 per company, because instead of getting a whole new database and paying a user, you can put a whole business, another business inside of ProTransport, and dispatch loads directly to those people. And it's extremely profitable as a dispatcher to do that, because you can pass a lot of those funds on to those carriers, whether that's admin fees or if you run their IFTA and you handle all their safety aspects too.
So I will still have all those other integrations if I decide?
Yeah, so you would lose out on, like, let's say QuickBooks or ELDs, because not all carriers are going to use that you're going to be dispatching for. But you'll be able to integrate fuel. You'll be able to give them a mobile app, and you'll have the full system. You'll have all of your accounting 1099s to do for them. You'll be able to do all of your deductions for them. You'll be able to set up all of their pay rates. So if you're taking 10, they take 90, depending on how you want to set that up. We would help you get that set up.
How much is that gonna cost me per month? Still only.
So you'll have the 125, and let's say that you have 2 companies you want to dispatch for with no QuickBooks or no ELD. I'm guessing you're maybe around 175.
That's not bad. We'll keep everything in the same. Well, I can tell you this, Chase, you coming back on my 5th class, and you're gonna show that then I might be the first one who I will switch all my carriers to one system, because I'm getting tired of having them all over the place. I want to have time for golfing and traveling.
Hey, I totally understand about the golf.
Well, if you're in Chicagoland, you're welcome to come and play. I'm inviting the girls as well. Hopefully one day I'll come, guys, to Kansas. I've been asking for a long time. Hopefully I'll get the invitation, official one, to come and do show right there, and we can do a little funny TikTok videos. But it's been a pleasure, guys. And again, let's just go one more time over our representative. So guys, if you would like to get anything related to factoring, again, call Patricia, right?
Call or
great.
text.
Yeah, text, call, and also you have the link with our dispatch. So guys, every time, remember, when you guys go to our site, you have the link. And if you come to RTS Factoring here, the moment you apply, it always goes to them. So you can see what are you looking for. If you're looking for factoring, if you're looking for fuel and software, well, the information is going to go exactly to the chase, to Aga and to Patricia. Of course, you're going to put your information and they get back to you as well. So you guys have this link on our site. You have it on YouTube under this video. You're going to have it on TikTok, on Facebook, and everywhere where we at. Let's stop this. Also, you can contact Aga if you need your fuel advice and if you're looking for better, better discounts. If you guys growing, or as I said, like she mentioned that nowadays they can get you the better deals, even with cards, which we always thought you cannot beat their price. And I guess she's telling us that she can do this. And I can tell you this, we're going to see, because we're going to send her our fuel in and see what she's going to do for us. So this is going to be real request for Aga. And of course, Chase, I'm very pleased because I was not even aware that independent dispatchers can set up different carriers. It will be big hit for my students because I want to always make sure that they have easier process and everything what they do, because as you said, we need to look for the load. So we need to make sure that we do everything efficiently, faster, easier, without mistakes. And of course, we need to make sure that we are surviving. Thank you again. And hopefully we'll see you soon. I'm going to say goodbye.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. And I will be right back and say goodbye to the guys. And guys, it was a pleasure to see you again. And I am glad that we are starting our September class on this Saturday. Our registration will be closing by Wednesday midnight. So if you are guys looking to still join in our classes, make sure you do it. For all the students who've been already studying, well, make sure you get ready. If you did not sign up for September, make sure that you start registering for October. For all my previous students and people who are looking for trucking, safety and compliance training, remember that we are starting October 1st. And we have the deal. If you are doing IFTA and tracking and compliance and safety, you actually save me money. Also, for people who only want to do IFTA, we have that option as well. And I am actually glad to be back because I miss all of you. And we're going to be bringing back our funny TikToks, our negotiations, and of course, we're going to see what's going on with the market. I love you guys. Please like, comment, share. Do not give up on trucking. Trucking is not going anywhere. Just make sure that you are guys learning. You can always see the updates, what's going on. You can support our mission in educating people. And of course, make sure that you have the knowledge. Dispatchers are the people who can help companies to survive. Dispatchers are the people who can put people out of the business. So this is a big responsibility. And without knowledge, unfortunately, you cannot pretend to be a dispatcher. And our mission is to change trucking for the better. And it's always me, Alex, your sassy dispatcher, your pushy instructor, and that direct Ukrainian woman who looks for honesty, loyalty, and no BS in trucking. I love you, and I'll see you soon.
What is the difference between pro dispatcher and a desperate dispatcher? Well, logical thinking, strong foundation, knowledge of the markets, equipment, negotiating skills, and of course, ability to put all of this together. Good pro dispatcher is like a chess player. We know when to say yes, when to say no, when to close the deal, and when to make a profit. Sign up for my class and never ever be a desperate dispatcher.